During the 1700s, London was eating itself alive. It was one of the largest cities on Earth, home to more than 500,000 people, yet it struggled daily with disorder, overcrowding, and instability. This was a period of profound change. Refined neighbourhoods began to take shape in the West End, while visionary designers reshaped the skyline. Architects such as Christopher Wren helped give the city a new identity after centuries of medieval growth. Today, advanced artificial intelligence allows us to reconstruct these vanished streets with remarkable precision. By studying authentic paintings, maps, and engravings from the era, we can recreate how London most likely appeared: the buildings, the roads, the crowds, and even the mood of the city, offering a rare chance to step nearly 3 centuries into the past and witness London as its inhabitants once knew it. Here we see a sweeping aerial view of London in the middle of the 18th century. The River Thames stretches ahead from the area that would one day become Tower Bridge, revealing the commercial core of Georgian London. At this time, the city was the largest port in the world and the nerve centre of global trade. Rising prominently above the rooftops is St. Paul's Cathedral, Christopher Wren's masterpiece. Completed in 1710 following the devastation of the Great Fire of 1666. Nearby stands the monument, built to commemorate that disaster and forever mark its impact on the city. The river itself is alive with movement. Sailing vessels, barges, and small rowing boats fill the water. The Thames served as London's main artery, carrying goods, people, and wealth from across the empire. Spanning the river is the Old London Bridge, still crowded with houses and shops, just as it had been for generations. This scene captures London during a moment of confidence and expansion, as it moved decisively from its medieval past toward its future as a global capital. Now, we stand on One Tree Hill in Greenwich Park, gazing northwest toward London as it appeared in the mid-18th century. This hillside would later gain worldwide importance. In 1884, Greenwich was selected as the reference point for global longitude, fixing it as the prime meridian of the world. Below the hill lies the elegant Queen's House, framed by the sweeping colonnades of Greenwich Hospital, completed in 1751. This vast complex was built to house retired naval sailors and reflected Britain's growing naval power, much like Les Invalides in Paris. Designed by Christopher Wren and Nicholas Hawksmoor, the buildings were meant to impress, projecting confidence and authority. Greenwich served as London's maritime gateway, and from this elevated position, visitors could observe ships approaching the capital from the sea. In the foreground, well-dressed figures paused to admire what was widely regarded as one of the finest views in England, a panorama celebrated by artists and writers for centuries, and one that remains strikingly familiar even today. We now arrive at Leicester Square during the same period, when it was still known as Leicester Fields and counted among London's most prestigious residential areas. The imposing structure at the centre is Leicester House. Constructed in 1635 for the Earl of Leicester, and later occupied by members of the royal family, including Frederick, Prince of Wales. The square soon became a gathering place for creative minds. On the right, at number 31, the painter William Hogarth lived and worked, his residence marked by a sculpted bust of Van Dyck above the entrance. Across the square, at number 47, Sir Joshua Reynolds established his portrait studio in 1760, producing images of many of the era's most influential figures. At the centre of the square stands an equestrian statue of King George I, installed in 1753. By this time, the area had fully evolved from open fields into a fashionable address, though its future was already shifting. Before long, theatres and entertainment would replace aristocratic households, permanently changing the character of the square. Our journey continues to the southern bank of the Thames, looking across the water toward the Tower of London. Rising directly from the river's edge, the fortress dominates the scene. For more than 7 centuries, the tower controlled access to the city from the Thames, using the river as both a defensive barrier and a vital route of communication. Its heavy stone walls project authority and permanence. At the centre stands the White Tower, the vast Norman keep begun by William the Conqueror in 1078, constructed from pale cornstone shipped from France. From the water, the tower appears not only as a military stronghold, but as a lasting symbol of royal power and control. By the 18th century, the tower had taken on many functions at once. It was a royal residence, a fortified stronghold, a weapons store, a mint, and the secure home of the crown jewels. It was also a place of confinement, the stretch of river before you served as the tower's primary gateway. Prisoners were brought here by boat, passing beneath Traitor's Gate, before being led inside. Among those who entered this way were Anne Boleyn and Sir Thomas More, both arriving by water before meeting their fate. The river traffic flowing past the tower tells another story. The Thames was London's lifeline. Barges, merchant ships, and ceremonial vessels all shared the same channel, carrying goods, officials, and information through the heart of the city. From its riverside position, the tower observed it all, standing as a silent guardian over centuries of movement and trade. We now step into the courtyard of the Royal Exchange in the 18th century, one of the most important commercial spaces in the world at the time. Established in 1565 by Sir Thomas Gresham and inspired by the trading halls of Antwerp, it was England's first building designed specifically for commerce. Twice each day, merchants gathered in this open courtyard to conduct business. The ringing of a bell from the tower above signalled the start and end of trading sessions. Imagine the atmosphere here: voices calling out prices, contracts being drafted, currencies exchanged, and conversations unfolding in many different languages. Surrounding the courtyard were covered galleries on multiple levels, lined with shops offering fine goods, printed works, and navigational charts. From these same walkways, Lloyd's of London began operating its early insurance business. This single institution helped elevate London into a global financial centre. It became a model for future exchanges across the world, shaping how international trade would function for centuries to come. Our journey continues to St James's Square, seen here in the middle of the 18th century. This was the height of elite London living. Developed in the 1660s, the square quickly became one of the city's most exclusive neighbourhoods. The most powerful figures in the country, nobles, politicians, and advisors to the crown, vied for residences around its perimeter. What you're seeing reflects the improvements made in the 1720s by royal gardener Charles Bridgeman. At the centre, he introduced a broad circular basin surrounded by 8 stone obelisks, each fitted with lamps enclosed in decorative ironwork. Before this redesign, residents complained that the square had fallen into neglect, uneven ground, standing water, and disorder that clashed with its prestigious reputation. Bridgeman's work transformed it into a refined and orderly space, worthy of its occupants. In the distance, the spire of St James's Church rises above the rooftops. In time, the square would evolve once again, shifting away from private residences toward the clubs, offices, and institutions that define it today. We now arrive at Cheapside, one of the busiest commercial streets in Georgian London. Its name comes from an old word meaning marketplace, a fitting description for a street that had been a centre of trade for centuries. Towering above the rooftops is the steeple of St Mary le Bow, rebuilt by Christopher Wren after the Great Fire. The sound of its bells carried special meaning. To be born within their reach was to be considered a true Cockney. Along this broad street, shops offered luxury goods from across the world. Fine fabrics, precious metals, books, spices, and more. The buildings lining Cheapside housed some of the most valuable retail spaces anywhere in Europe. This was not merely a shopping street, it was a financial engine where wealth was created daily and London's merchant class expanded its influence deal by deal. Across the world, thousands of historic engravings and paintings like these survive, quiet records of cities as they once were. With modern tools, we can bring these moments back into view. Let us know in the comments which city you would like to see reimagined next. Your suggestion may shape our next journey. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to welcoming you back again soon.